Nigerian than British.
Oh, right.
Even though they haven't been to Nigeria before.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, right. So everything they know about the language they learned from you.
Yes,
oh, that
did.
is brilliant.
Yeah.
That is good.
Yeah.
It's good to have the children have a touch of their roots, you know.
And because they listen to I think African the British children are more accepting the parents African roots now, because there's more of music that is bringing them back to their roots. And when you watch Nollywood and other Afro-Caribbean TV channels, it's kind of make them to appreciate where they're coming from, and I think they're really appreciating that now, and they're coming up with trying to want to know more about.
Yeah, they're more accepting of that culture.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. So, where did you grow up? Were you born in Nigeria?
No, I was actually born in Nigeria.
All right.
I grew up in Nigeria, but I spent half of my life here in UK.
Okay.
So I could say that my life is, I grew up more here in UK than back in Nigeria.
Okay.
I came when I was between my teenage years and my adult life.
All right.
So I could say that I'm more British now than Nigerian, although I'm both. I'm an African woman to the core, and also a British woman to the core. So I think
you have blend of both
cultures.
I understand. How often do you go back to your motherland?
That's like I said,
not
that's
often enough.
Not really. That's why I say part of me is more of a British and part of me, because I hardly go home.
Okay.
Like I said, my children haven't been to Nigeria. I would love to take them.
Yes.
There's a reason why I didn't take them for that long. Though they really want to go now. They're ready to go, because the thing is that sometimes when you hear about all sorts of bad information, it's kind of scares you to want to go back home. But I think Nigeria is really doing well now, so I'm really looking forward to going back and doing something and impacting lives, because part of my foundation is in future going back to Nigeria to support the community over there as well. So
all right. So we'll get to that in a bit. So we're going to talk about when you moved to the UK. You said you were almost an adult. Did your dreams to become who you are now, did it start from here or it generated when you were back in Nigeria?
I think my dreams started when I was in Nigeria. Like I said, my dad is an inspiration.
Yes.
He works, I remember growing up, I used to admire my dad dressing up, and because he works in the office, he works with in the insurance company called Great Nigerian Insurance Company. And I remember every time he's going to work, he's always suited and looking smart, and so I always said to myself, I love to work in the office, and I love to do something that will make me to suit up. So I think one of my dreams was to become an air hostess. Because I love the way they dress smartly. And one of my dreams also was to basically work in the office. I don't know what I was going to do then,
but it was just enough for you to just suit up and go to work.
Yes, and I think that really materialized when I came to the UK.
Because everyone who works in the city or the office always in some suit or some formal attire. I understand. So when you came over, you felt like that's the way to go for you, right?
Funny enough, coming to UK wasn't planned. It wasn't something. I always say to people that I'm one of those people that wasn't. My life back in Nigeria was fine, so there's no reason to leave home. And like I said, I'm a daddy's girl, so I don't have any reason to want to leave. But I think my stepmom just came home one day and said, it would be nice for me to go to UK and study nursing.
All right.
And she came up with the idea, and my dad accepted, though he didn't want to accept in the first place.
Okay.
I didn't want to go because I didn't know anyone over there, over here back then. So, but fate will have it.
That's true.
I came to UK, and I think I'm still I am still here sitting down.
Yeah,
and
no regrets. Yeah.
Never. I believe it's fate. I think God wanted me to be here.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm still here.
That is good.
And I'm still growing stronger
By the day.
Yeah.
Thank God for that. Yeah. So when you came over, the initial plan was for you to be a nurse.
Yes.
But you came and then you became a legal practitioner.
Yes.
All right. So tell us about that.
Well, the journey was kind of rough because when I got here, the initial idea was to become a nurse. Then when I got here, the plan didn't come to fruition.
Okay.
So within that period, my stepmom now came up with the idea of me going to look for any job.
All right.
Which means that I have to work in as a chambermaid. I worked. I think back then most Nigerians, I think whoever you stayed with then means a lot because the people I stayed with back then, they didn't have any clue about education or anything, and basically my stepmom was like, okay, because you can. The admission period was over by the time my paperwork and everything was true, so I couldn't continue. So basically I came and worked as a chambermaid for quite a long time. Between that time got my work permit, and within that time I had to extend my stay because for you to do anything you have to be legally
that is true.
Stable here. So basically the journey was a bit not so straightforward, but after along the line, that was when I met my partner.
All right.
And I had my first child.
All right.
Then that was between that time, that was when I now decided to go back to school.
Okay.
So I actually self-funded myself to go back to school.
All right.
Then the fact that when it comes to immigration and stuff like that, I saw the way people were struggling. So I thought, what shall I do?
Yes.
I decided to go into legal profession.
Okay.
And I went back to school. I first of all did office administrative course just to get myself in. Then I was lucky enough to go get into a legal firm.
All right.
Then that was where I started developing my interest in the legal profession.
All right.
And I went back to study LLB law.
All right.
Though I didn't really practice at all.
Okay.
At a point in time, I had my second child.
Okay.
So the dream of becoming a legal practitioner was a bit shaky again.
It was interrupted.
Yes. So then later on, I went back to work. I started working as what do you call it? I used to go with the barrister to the court to support the clients, and I used to work in the office to attend to clients, but I wasn't fully qualified as a solicitor back then. But at a point in time, I think going to the courtrooms and seeing all the dramas going on and stuff like that. It was fun. I love arguing. My dad used to say that law is my profession because I have the natural talent of arguing a case.
Okay.
I can argue from morning till night when I know that I'm right with what I'm saying. I decided to stay in the legal profession for quite a while. But then again, I had another baby.
The babies keep interrupting.
Yes. So so basically, the third child was what was a breaking point for me to now thought, okay, to be going to the courtroom and having children and responsibilities, it will be too much for me. And then also there was problem with the legal firms then, because the government were closing down lots of law firms. There were a reduction in legal aid application. They were rejecting legal aid application, and there was so much problem going on. There were so many law firms closing down back then. So a barrister that I used to work with, she now said, Topsy, don't you think it's best for you to look for something else? Because she was actually, because she I won't mention her name, but she's a very good barrister. And
was she Nigerian as well?
Yes, she's Nigerian, but she's Igbo. But she's a very good barrister. She doesn't lose any case. And she works within the immigration profession. And I'm telling you, what now happened was that we were discussing one time, and she said it's difficult to be getting clients now because the government weren't giving much legal aid anymore, and law firms were closing because most of the clients are legal aid based, and they couldn't afford to have a private client back then. So she now said, oh, what else would you, we were just sitting down, she said, what else would you love to do? So I said, I think I love organizing people. So I now thought to myself, because I go to parties a lot, so I thought I'll go into wedding planning. So that's how I changed.
You morphed yourself from being a legal practitioner to an event planner. That is a good story. So she sort of put your mind towards that.
Yes, and I never regretted it, because looking at the legal profession, it's kind of getting tougher. Even though it's okay, but for you to get clients, you have to scout for clients, you have to go out there. And some of the clients that we found out these days is that especially the Afro-Caribbean ones, they're more of immigration matters. And some of them don't have recourse to public fund, so they can't afford to pay the solicitor fee. And now the law firms now have to get the first child consultation fees before they can take up any case. And now it's like some of them can't even afford the consultation fee. So it's like it's getting so tougher, and the hours that the solicitor spend on each file now, the legal aid doesn't pay for the amount of hours. They pay for they give you a set fee. So even if you're spending 1 year to finish up a file, it doesn't really concern them. But before, it's how long it takes. So it's now most of the law firms need more private client than legal aids. So, and I think that's although some people are still struggling, but
others are still making it.
They're still making it, but I think you have to be very proactive. You have to find a way to juggle everything.
I understand, and I agree. All right, we have Apostle Owusu-Banahene, who is watching us on our YouTube channel. If you can tune in on tune in, or you can get the app to listen to us on air. You can go to the YouTube channel and you can watch us live. Hi. Anyway, I have with me in the studio Topsy Divine, and we're finding out all about her dreams and her passion and how she